Have you ever felt stuck in a relationship that seems to drain your energy rather than uplift you? Whether it's a friend, partner, or family member, sometimes maintaining connections can actually pull us away from living a meaningful, peaceful life. We've all been there, stuck in relationships or friendships where something feels off, but we're not sure if walking away is the right move. Ancient Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus spent their lives grappling with questions about relationships, peace of mind, and personal growth. Their wisdom can guide us through the murky waters of deciding when it's time to cut someone off. Today we're going to dive into 12 clear signs, backed by Stoic wisdom, that it's time to cut ties with someone. These aren't just any signs. They're rooted in over 2,000 years of philosophical insight that can help you live a life filled with inner peace, purpose, and emotional clarity. Let's jump in. 1. Persistent disrespect. Let's start with one of the clearest signs: persistent disrespect. We've all encountered people who seem to have little regard for our feelings, ideas, or boundaries. Disrespect can show up in small ways, like rude comments or dismissive behavior, but over time, these little jabs can turn into something much bigger. According to the Stoics, respect for others is central to living a virtuous life. Marcus Aurelius believed that a good person should live in harmony with others, but that doesn't mean allowing yourself to be a doormat. If someone in your life continuously disrespects you, whether it's belittling your opinions, ignoring your boundaries, or treating you as less than, it's a clear sign that the relationship has become toxic. Stoicism teaches us to act with dignity and to remove ourselves from situations where our self-worth is consistently undermined. If someone shows you persistent disrespect, it's not just a sign of who they are, it's a sign that it may be time to let go. 2. Negative impact on your mental health. How often do you feel stressed, anxious, or emotionally drained after interacting with certain people? The Stoics believed in the importance of inner peace, and they understood that relationships should contribute to your well-being, not detract from it. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." And while this is true, the Stoics didn't advocate for enduring unnecessary suffering. If being around someone consistently leaves you feeling emotionally overwhelmed, stressed, or anxious, it's not just an unfortunate coincidence. It's a red flag. It's crucial to recognize when a relationship is costing you your mental health. Life is full of challenges, but relationships should be a source of support, not another burden to carry. If someone's presence in your life leaves you in a constant state of stress, it's time to reassess whether that relationship is worth keeping. 3. Misaligned core values. One of the core tenets of Stoicism is living in accordance with your values. But what happens when you find yourself deeply connected to someone who doesn't share the same fundamental beliefs? Maybe they're constantly making decisions or engaging in behavior that goes against what you believe in. Seneca once said, "Associate with people who are likely to improve you." If your core values, whether it's honesty, integrity, kindness, or something else, are at odds with someone you're close to, it can cause constant friction. And over time, that friction can erode the relationship and leave you feeling unfulfilled. You don't need to share every opinion or belief with the people in your life, but when it comes to the big things, your core values, it's important to have alignment. If your values are fundamentally misaligned, it may be time to reconsider the relationship. 4. Energy vampire dynamics. We've all had that one person in our lives who leaves us feeling utterly drained after every interaction. The Stoics understood that your energy is precious, and how you spend it matters. Some people, often unintentionally, seem to take and take without ever giving back. These energy vampires don't offer anything positive in return. They just leave you feeling exhausted. For the Stoics, it was essential to maintain balance in life and protect your peace. If you constantly feel drained, exhausted, or emotionally depleted after spending time with someone, you might be stuck in an energy vampire dynamic. Epictetus taught that part of wisdom is knowing where to invest your energy. If someone's presence in your life is depleting your emotional reserves without offering anything in return, it might be time to step back. Your energy should be invested in relationships that nourish and uplift you, not ones that leave you running on empty. 5. Manipulation and deceit. Manipulation and deceit are major red flags in any relationship. The Stoics were big on honesty, transparency, and living in accordance with virtue. If someone in your life is consistently manipulating you, whether through lies, guilt trips, or other forms of deceit, then they are pulling you away from the path of virtue. Epictetus was clear. We cannot control the actions of others, only our own responses. And in cases of manipulation, your response should be to protect yourself. Manipulative behavior erodes trust and creates an unhealthy power dynamic, where one person is constantly trying to control the other. If you find that someone is consistently dishonest or manipulative, Stoic wisdom would suggest that it's time to remove yourself from that situation. It's not about anger or revenge. It's about preserving your integrity and peace of mind. 6. Lack of trust, mutual respect, and honesty. Trust, mutual respect, and honesty are the foundation of any healthy relationship. The Stoics placed a high value on these qualities, understanding that without them, a relationship would ultimately crumble. If you can't trust someone, or if you feel that the respect and honesty in the relationship are one-sided, it's a clear sign that something is wrong. Marcus Aurelius believed that we should strive to live virtuously, and part of that means being in relationships that uphold virtues like trust and respect. If you're constantly questioning someone's motives, or if you feel like honesty is lacking, it's time to take a step back. Stoicism teaches that your relationships should be built on a foundation of mutual respect and integrity. Without that, there's no solid ground to stand on. 7. Abuse in any form. This one is non-negotiable. Abuse, whether physical, emotional, or psychological, has no place in any relationship. Stoicism teaches that we must respect ourselves and others, and that includes not allowing ourselves to endure mistreatment. Epictetus teaches us resilience. It's crucial to understand that Stoicism does not advocate enduring abuse. Instead, it encourages you to act rationally and protect yourself by removing yourself from harm's way. Stoics believed in courage, and sometimes the bravest thing you can do is walk away from an abusive relationship. It's not about retaliation or holding on to anger. It's about self-respect and preserving your dignity. Abuse is a violation of personal boundaries and your right to live with peace and respect. Walking away from it is not just wise, it's necessary. 8. Stagnation and lack of growth. Life, according to the Stoics, is all about growth, both mentally and spiritually. Relationships should help you grow, not hold you back. But what happens when you feel stagnant in a relationship? Maybe the other person resists change, discourages your personal growth, or keeps you locked in old, unhealthy patterns. Seneca famously said, "As long as you live, keep learning how to live." This means that we should always strive for personal improvement. If you're in a relationship that is keeping you stuck, whether that's because the person discourages your goals or doesn't support your growth, it might be time to reevaluate. Stagnation can hold you back from reaching your full potential. Stoic philosophy teaches us to continuously evolve, so staying in a relationship that prevents growth is not aligned with living a virtuous life. Don't let someone else's resistance to change become your reason for staying stuck. 9. Consistent selfishness. Have you ever been in a relationship where it feels like you're constantly giving but never receiving anything in return? Consistent selfishness is a major red flag that the relationship is unbalanced. The Stoics believed in living harmoniously with others, which includes considering their needs and well-being. Marcus Aurelius once said, "What is not good for the hive is not good for the bee." This speaks to the idea that selfishness disrupts the balance of relationships. If one person is always putting their own needs above the relationship's well-being, it's impossible to achieve harmony. Stoicism encourages generosity, but not to the point where it leaves you drained and unappreciated. If you find yourself in a relationship with someone who is consistently selfish, it might be time to step back and reassess whether this relationship is contributing to your well-being or just depleting it. 10. Toxic communication patterns. The Stoics placed great emphasis on rational, respectful communication. Marcus Aurelius often wrote about the importance of self-control in our interactions with others, advising us to remain calm and measured, even in moments of conflict. But what if communication becomes toxic? If conversations with someone are consistently filled with hostility, manipulation, or blame, it's a sign that the relationship is unhealthy. Toxic communication patterns can include constant arguing, passive-aggressive remarks, or the inability to discuss issues without things escalating. If someone is unwilling to communicate in a way that's respectful and productive, you have to ask yourself whether that relationship is worth the emotional toll. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control, and if healthy communication isn't possible despite your best efforts, it may be time to step away. 11th. Disregard for personal boundaries. Personal boundaries are essential for healthy relationships. They protect your mental and emotional well-being and establish limits on what is acceptable behavior. The Stoics believed in the importance of self-discipline and self-respect, and part of that means establishing clear boundaries. If someone consistently disregards your boundaries, whether it's invading your privacy, pushing you to do things you're uncomfortable with, or ignoring your needs, that's a serious problem. A healthy relationship respects boundaries, and if someone refuses to acknowledge them, it's a sign of deeper issues. The Stoic philosophy teaches us that we are responsible for our own peace of mind. Allowing someone to violate your boundaries repeatedly erodes your sense of self-worth. If this is happening in one of your relationships, it may be time to cut ties. 12. Lack of mutual accountability. In any healthy relationship, both parties should be willing to take responsibility for their actions. The Stoics believed in holding oneself accountable for one's behavior and decisions. If someone in your life is constantly shifting blame, refusing to acknowledge their mistakes, or never taking responsibility for their actions, it creates an unhealthy dynamic. Epictetus taught that true wisdom lies in knowing what is within our control and taking responsibility for it. In a relationship where only one person is willing to be accountable, it creates an imbalance. Mutual accountability is necessary for trust and respect to thrive. Without it, the relationship becomes one-sided and ultimately unsustainable. Conclusion. The Stoics offer timeless wisdom for navigating the complexities of human relationships. They remind us to prioritize our peace, well-being, and virtue. If someone in your life consistently shows these 12 signs, it might be time to make the difficult but necessary decision to cut ties. Remember, cutting someone off isn't about holding a grudge or seeking revenge. It's about protecting your mental and emotional health and ensuring that your relationships are built on a foundation of respect, honesty, and mutual support. As the Stoics taught, we have control over our actions and choices, and sometimes the best choice is to walk away. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights rooted in ancient wisdom for modern living. Until next time, take care of yourself and your relationships.